Hi, this is Kim Pinkney and welcome to my channel. And I apologize for not being like on schedule this weekend and everything with it, the holiday and everything. I hope everybody had a great one. And if you haven't, I hope you had a great day. I had a nice one. And thank you for all of you who have wished me happy Thanksgiving. I truly appreciate it. Today I didn't feel like doing anything too intense. I think I just want to draw, just doodle. I just want to doodle a little bit. So right now I am doodling, and I really didn't have an idea of what I wanted to do. And I apologize, it's really light right now. I'm making a circle. And I was thinking about different ideas of things that I could draw, and I'm not sure. I just figured that I want to do something more with my Crayola markers. They've been sitting here picking up dust. I use them every now and then, and this one I want to do just like lots of Crayola marker. I'll probably offset it with colored pencil, and I don't know. I had a loose idea of what I wanted to do, and so I'm pretty much drawing that idea. And it may evolve because it was about to evolve again, and it's just kind of funny. I'll have this one idea, spend all this time looking up source images, doing just some brainstorming, only for it to change again. So just bear with me. I have no idea what I'm going to come up with, but I kind of have an idea now. I want to draw like the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop. We all know it's like I wanted to do something with candy. And I didn't think about this, but I could always add glitter. Kind of funny, but I didn't think about that initially. So I am drawing a lollipop, and I am drawing a person in the center of a lollipop. And I'm just trying to get her proportions right. And we'll break it a little bit here. And before I even came up with the idea of what I wanted to do, I was watching different videos of different YouTubers complaining about other YouTubers, particularly artists and stuff. I don't think I set out for that. I think it just happened in my stream that it's like, oh, here's another rant video about somebody ranting about somebody else. Oh, and look, somebody's actually drawing while they're ranting about somebody else's drawings. And I'm like, oh, man. You never know what you're going to stumble into. One day I stumbled into people popping pimples. And so instead of like trying to find something else, I just couldn't look away. It was just so disgusting. And I'm like, oh, wow. Like, it's so disgusting that it was cool. It just like, oh my gosh. Anyway, Amaris, what up, woman? Hey, can't wait to see what you come up with. And happy Thanksgiving to you. I hope you had a great one. Alrighty. So right now I'm just pretty much sketching out the pose. Kind of like, I don't know if she's going to be annoyed that, now she has an opening in her candy world, or she's free. Maybe she's more of a candy genie. You get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop and you get this. Ooh, I could have her feet wrap around here. I could do that sort of thing. Let's see. And let's see, and I have this thing about not lolly, what is it called? it's like Harajuku girls, where they have like an overabundance of accessories, but it's happy accessories or just fun. You know, it's just fun. They're fun to look at. Um, and I'm sure they're fun. They're having fun when they get dressed. And from my research of what, for source images and stuff like of girls like that and people like that, it's like it's a dying art. And I can understand where, maybe it might get a little bit time consuming, or people are losing, interest in the art, but it's so cute. All the pretty colors, the pastel colors, it's just so adorable. I don't know. I'm late to the game. Very late to the game. All right. So we'll have her kind of sitting down, nice frilly dress. And she's in the center. I am the center. Well, actually, we'll move her legs because I'm going to put a finger here. Okay. And you would think that the center of a Tootsie Pop would be a little smaller, I suppose. So this is kind of what I do when I don't know what I want to do. I combine things. Off the wall things. I was playing with the idea of trying to come up with my own little anime characters, because it's like I get this like when I watch an episode and I'm totally into it, and then the episode ends, it's like, man, I want the story to keep going. I'm like totally stoked. It's like, you got me, keep going. And so I find myself binge watching like a lot of stuff. I was watching Goblin Slayer, and it has its own what do you call it, controversies. But despite that, I like the story. People put it down, and I'm like, it's okay, you got your opinion. But I like the storyline. I like the character. It just makes me think of other characters, making, the heroes. And, it's like, wow, this guy is so cool. He's so emotionally unattached, because he has to be. It's part of his training, I suppose, to become the Goblin Slayer. I don't know. But I started thinking about other characters that were like that. And I seem to be attracted to the Batman type guys. The ones that are so emotionally unattached, and they're so cool, and that they're, what's the word? They're heroic. They got a job to do, and they don't let anything, not romance, not opportunities, nothing stands in their way of, trying to accomplish their goal, even if their goal seems oddly monumental. I don't know. I'm a weirdo. Yeah, a friend of mine asked me, he was taking a poll, and he's like, who would you rather be with, Batman or Superman? And a lot of people were, they would pick one over another. And I'm like, I don't want either. They're both, and I was thinking about it. I made like this really weird social commentary on why I wouldn't choose either one of them. And basically, one is like too far removed from reality, my reality, to even date him. Like, and both of them actually are. Um, like one of the arguments I had was that Batman is all about himself. He's very self-centered and egotistical. Everything's him, him, him. You know, bat phone. You know, you'll never, if you're with him, you'll never have anything of your own. You know, you got the bat cave, you got the batarang. You know, there's no Robin-a-rang or anything like that. You know, there's no Robin signal. There's only a bat signal. Everything's about him. Bat, bat, bat. Me, me, me. Right? You know, and that comes from being a rich guy. You would think, you know, being the spoiled rich kid. You know, white privilege was his superpower. You know, that sort of thing. And then with Superman, you know, he's an alien. If you ever watch like the Superman movie, the original one, where he goes flying with Lois at night, you know, she's wearing something like very flimsy, definitely not prepared for a night flight. You know, it's cold. I don't know if you've ever been outside and, you know, at high altitudes, but it's freaking cold out there. And he has no concept of that. He just takes her out like it's cool. Oh yeah, she'll dig it. You know, she's a chick, she'll dig it. They like this flying stuff. You know, I know that's not the context of it, but basically he's too far removed from human reality. It's not until he becomes human that he realizes he can't hang as a human. He's got too many responsibilities. So, you know, it's like you'll be getting into it with him, and the next thing you know, he's got to go and save the world. It's like, it's always that. The world always comes up. Just sucks. Damn the world. So I could totally understand if, like, his lovers would, like, go bad, you know, just so they could have more time with him. You know, because that's the only time you would have with him is when he's going bad. You know, or dealing with evil. I don't know how long I should make the nail. Not too long. But, yeah, so it was things like that I was coming up with. Just all kinds of, like, yeah, me, if I had an option of dating a superhero, I wouldn't date either one of them. Not a single one of them. They all got problems. They all got issues. You know, and everybody's got their issues, but they've got issues. Issues upon issues. Decades worth of issues. It's like, both of them are older than us anyway. They've been around since, what, the 20s? Things like that. So it's like, yeah, no. Definitely gotta pass. You know, and then everybody wants to kidnap you. It's like, oh, so you two are dating, huh? Well, just jump into this bag here. Yeah, it's cool, it's cool. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just after your boyfriend. You know, that sort of thing. Yeah, so yeah, so even then, it's like it's not about you. It's about, you know, kidnapping your boyfriend and torturing him, and, you know, I'm just out to take over the world. You know, you're no big deal. You're just a pawn. You know, but you know, and you'll be like, good luck. You know, he won't even come to our date. He keeps standing me up. You know, things like that. You know, and you want to capture him. And what's sick is that, yeah, he'll come because she's in trouble. So what's to stop a girl from trying to get into more trouble? You know, to get his attention. You know, I don't know. It's just like crazy stuff like that. You can go on and on about it. I mean, it's like why you shouldn't date a superhero. You know, can you tell? You can't tell your parents about them. You know, so it's better to date a. You know, I don't know. Better to date a human than a superhero because you can't tell your mom about him. You can't bring him home for supper. And he wouldn't show up anyway. He'll stand you up because there's always some crisis. Let's see. All right, so. Oh, anyway, let me stop ranting. I go from ranting about other YouTubers complaining about other YouTubers, and then I'm picking on poor Batman and Superman. What do they ever do to me? You know? No. Yeah, it's just one of those things, I suppose. Okay. Da, da, da. So we got candy, candy. I think this is going to be too small for me to do the kind of details that I want to do. But I think I'll try to do something here. Let's see. Have it be kind of glistening. It's like, watch where you put that tongue, mister. Or miss, or... Now I'm trying to decide what kind of expression I want. At first I was going to do a totally different pose. Totally different pose. I'm like, you know what? Let me try something like that. And it's evolved to this. This is what we've come to. Okay. I've got my face. Or I gotta do the dress too. I'm trying to decide how I want to do I want the person looking down? Do I want them to look to the side? It's funny, I come up with these ideas and then I get stuck and then I abandon the thing and then something else, another muse takes me into a different other uh, direction. So I'm like, okay, stay with this, stay with this. Okay, so we've got the pretty skirt. And I want to think candy. Think candy. So this is where we are so far. Let's see. Dun dun dun. So we got her hand up against here. And we'll have more candy popping out. I gotta figure out what I want to do with these shoes. I'm not sure yet. Alright. So we want... Let's see, it's going to be a chocolate center. So we'll draw someone cute. Let's see. Or I could do crazy expression. Let's see. I could do like the Miley Cyrus thing where she's got her tongue sticking out. Huh, you think you're gonna lick me? Huh, I'm gonna lick you first. Nah. What kind of expression should I have? She's supposed to be cute. So maybe a cute expression. Let's see. Let's see. Ooh, how about like wavy hair, but it has like, what do you call those things? Peppermint stripes. And that'll be like her bangs or fringe. So like little dreadlocks. And then let's see, so she'll have that. I can give her like a little, not necessarily afro puffs, but then I can have them wrap around the puff as well. It could be like more of a bun. Let's see. And just have them crisscross. I was more, when I was a kid, I was more into the ones that were multicolored instead of just peppermint. Oh, out of music. Let me throw some more songs on so you don't have to listen to me the entire time. Alright, and I'll turn that up a bit. If you have any questions at all during this live stream, feel free to hit me up, and I'll do my best to answer. Now, the downside of drawing this small is the tip of my markers might not be able to color or give me the details that I really, really want. Let's see. I haven't decided if this is going to be, it could be one of the entries for my coloring book, Behold Beauty. I think it will. I think it's turning out really cute. Now, Behold Beauty was just going to be a coloring book where it's going to be a lot of women of color, black women, because it's like whenever I picked up a coloring book, I didn't see a lot that had features like a black person. It's always been like maybe one or two. Oh, we'll toss one or two of them in there, you know, but they, on the whole, I wanted this one to be the opposite. I want this to have different people. If you choose to color them brown, cool. That's what I meant to happen. Some shade of brown. But a lot of them I've seen, I mean, they had like very straight hair, just very straight noses. And I'd like to see a variety of faces. And that's what my Behold Beauty is I want to show that, you know, not only is this a coloring book for all people, but, you know, it's a coloring book for little sisters to enjoy. You know, it's like there's someone that looks like me in this book, or somebody I know. I don't know. And you want to reach for that brown crayon. You know, it's folks don't do that very often because some of the features don't look like they belong to, you know, a person of color. But you know what? It's all in how you interpret it. It's your picture. Once you buy my book, it's all yours. You can color them purple if you wanted to. But I like to have just something that's different. Like, I opened up my steampunk book, and not a single black person in there at all. I'm like, what? Black people don't steampunk? Sure we do. Sure we do. And I was actually inspired by some steampunk cosplay people. Let me pull out that picture real quick. If I've got it close by. Do I? Where's my backpack? I'll be right back. Yeah, let's see, just to show you an update of what I was doing on the bus. This one was for a t-shirt. This is for a t-shirt that I didn't get to do because I didn't mess it up, so just kept going. All right, this was one of my live streams. And it can't hurt to color that. That'd be pretty awesome. Let's see. I was doing that on the bus. That's not the one I was thinking of. That one's a potential. It can go anywhere. Not that one. Not that one. That was a live stream. One of those before work type of deals. Let's see. I think I went back and I just fixed like an old image. Like this one here, I wanna eventually color too. I might color it if I have time off this stream. Okay, here's the one that inspired me for steampunk. It was more of like an African American type steampunk, but the bus was jostling me, so I didn't finish inking it. But around here were like some Eye of Ra type of symbols, or was it Ra? Horus. And then I had the same thing going on here, which kind of reminded me of that Yu-Gi-Oh cube. And then I wasn't sure what to do for the bottom part here. I don't know. Let's see if you can see it a little bit better. There's the whole image. This is where I should have drew the other picture because it's bigger paper. This is like 9 by 12 and this is... Oh, this is 9 by 12 too. Oh, holy crap. Oh, it's just that... Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it is 9 by 12. It's just that this kind of throws it off around the edges. This right here. But yeah, so I wanted to do steampunk, and I didn't see any black steampunk characters, so I started making some and taking it up from there. Da, da, da. So, and this little girl's gotten younger. This was going to be a woman that was sitting in this here. Okay, so I got to figure out how I want to do this. Let's see. Here we go. And just have it wrapping. I don't know if I like how this is looking. So it'll be like cotton candy wrapped with peppermint. Little balls on her head. I don't know. It looked, it had a nice idea in my head. It sounded decent in my head. Let's see. But if I'm doing her like a Harajuku girl, let's see. Let me go ahead and give her a bigger smile. Got a little bit of a cheekbone. Make her eyes cuter. It's like a sugar and spice and everything nice type of thing. And now, some of the things that I never thought of doing, um, I am trying to do in my coloring book. So it's like I never drew people with multicolored hair. Um, and I'm like, you know what? That is kind of cute. It's actually stylish. I grew up with in the 70s and the 80s where they had this really tacky. Oh my gosh, this is the tackiest thing I ever saw. It was a rainbow wig, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that does not look good on anybody. And nowadays it's like, oh, rainbow colored wig. That sounds kind of cute. Oh, it was interesting. You know what? Let me give her a big afro back here. We'll have it coming up. We'll do a bun here, and then the back of her hair will be fluffy, and we'll make it nice and fluffy. And if I was coloring this, it would be in a whole bunch of cute rainbow colors. And let's see, we'll do little stripes in her hair. I could do afro puffs. That's a thought. Well, let's see, and all this is going to be there we go, like that. I could do braids. I could do like little braids like this. And just have all this be like little fat braids, I guess. Okay, but what to do on her outfit here? Let's see. I do like the cosplay here. So let's see. So let's see. Oh my gosh, love these shoes. I've gotta draw these. Okay. Let's see. See, me and Pinterest have become very best friends. Uh, let's see. So that's that part. Oops, you won't see the heel very much right there. You might see it a little bit better here, just because of the position of her shoe. I don't know. Let's see. If it's this way, and we can see that much, we might see maybe the interior of the heel. They're like platformed. But I've always liked the heels that had that squared off heel instead of the spike heel. Let's see, so we'll kind of square this one off too. And we'll do cross candies instead of like bows. We'll do like cross candies here. Maybe heart shaped. That'd be cute. and I'll define it better once I, let's see. All right, okay, so I'm debating whether or not to make her eyes just a little bigger. Okay, so we've got our little afro puff. And what I do is I pretty much do squiggles going all the way around just to give her a little bit of texture. And so these will be like puffy puffy. All right, and then let's see. Okay. What can I put on her shirt? Let's see. Candy, candy, candy. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Cute outfit. Oh my goodness. Okay. We'll give her off the shoulder straps here. And right here, we will give her a big heart. Let's see. Yes. Alrighty, and then we'll give her like an oversized sweater. But it's cropped right here. And very huge collar. Let's see, and we'll throw in let's see, we can do some baby hairs. Alrighty, so this is where we are so far. Sorry about that. Let's see if we can get this to be a little bit bigger so you can see the entire picture. Yeah, that's one of the downsides to my my camera. It's like I don't know what everybody's seeing until I take a break and look. Okay, so I've got my Afro puffs here. Alrighty. Okay, so let me erase some of the lines that I don't need. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. could do a pouting motion, but nah. Let's see. Oh, I lost my little source image girl. Huh. Rats. So I guess I'll change the smile. Let's see. How about... Uh, hmm. Let me see. Nobody's going to be able to color this. Not the way I... So let me see. There we go. We'll just close her mouth a little bit. That makes it easier to color. All right. Okay, and what I do to one side, must do to the other. All right, so that's the image. And I'll ink this on another day. And then, let's see, I was thinking about doing a different pose. Let's see. So I could ink it now so you can see it better, but this is what it kind of came out to. It's just a little lollipop. And I think I'll just save this for the Behold Beauty. And I'll color this on another piece of paper instead of, you know, like maybe, I wonder, yeah, when I have some paper treated, I'll go ahead and color it. But I want to go ahead and save this first. And then ink it in and all that other wonderful stuff. Let's see. You know, I never did get to go back and look up pictures of Cyborg. But I did come across another superhero that I thought was kind of cute. Her name is Bumble Bee. She is a little sister, and I'm going to draw her in a second. Let's see. But yeah, if you guys want to see more superheroes, or I'd love to see more black anime characters. I'm not characters that that have to be colored brown, but actually are like African American characters. I love those cartoons, those animations and stuff. All right, so there's one. Okay, so I'll go ahead and ink this in another time and move this to the side. And I think I want to alternate. I have no idea what I want to do now. I'm going to go through my little pose thing here and debating, do I want to do Bumblebee or not? Actually, I think I kind of do. Hold on, let me see. I'm going to go through my little poses here and see if I can find one that has a pose kind of what I'm thinking of. Now, I've seen her in so many different costumes. I'm not sure exactly what one is her official costume. Let's see. I'm not seeing my pose, so because I've got this pose idea in my head, and I'm just checking to see if I happen to have a source image of it. No. I'm coming to the bottom of the barrel here. I'm half tempted to go into like Pixel Lovely and see if I can just do a random one. Nope, not seeing it. Rats, rats, rats. I'm seeing a lot of others that I'd like to draw. Huh. Bumblebee might have to take a second. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I don't see her. I don't see any of these poses as the ones that I want to do. So, I shall make a one up. And hopefully my anatomy is not too far off. So, I'm thinking of something really cute, like a really cute pose. And I think I'll do it in my bigger book, even if it is just an illusion. No, I'll keep it on. No, I want to do it in the bigger book. Okay. Even though they're supposed to be about the same sizes. And I think I will color her in. She will not be for my Behold Beauty. Okay. And yeah, I gotta color this in. Anyway. Dun dun dun. Okay. Okay, so the pose that I'm thinking of is that since she's supposed to be a bumblebee, I'm going to have her little stingers out this way, and it's going to be like from behind, and she's kind of looking over her shoulder. And in the picture that I saw, she had afro puffs, but I think I'm going to do them kind of with ringlets instead. Let's see if I can get a playful pose going on. I'll have this arm come back a little bit more. This is really super rough, so just bear with me. And some of the ways that I draw, I try to draw, I got to figure out where the head is. And if I am concerned about making sure I get the whole body in, I will do like a stick figure. And I want to get the whole body in. I think I want her to come out more like this. Okay, I think I'll do that. There we go. Her head's right here. Her back is right here. I'm going to have her shoulder come up a little bit. I'm going to give her a little junk in the trunk. And she's got these little, her little weapons are like little bees, little letter B's. They look like that. And I guess those are her little stingers. Let me bring this down a little bit so you can see where I'm working. I'm getting rid of some of my stray lines. Yeah, I don't have the confidence to take a line and stick with it. I like throw a bunch of them out there, and whichever one seems to be in the right neck of the woods, that's the one I go with and make darker. Everybody else goes to pot. Let's see. And again, the picture might change again, you know, because I'm not like settled on it, you know. It could change. And you know, I totally was thinking of alternating, like drawing a guy, then drawing a girl, then drawing a guy, then drawing a girl. Because it's like I don't want to get too stuck in doing like one form. Besides, where's the fun in that? Eventually, I want to get into drawing stories. So I really need to practice doing backgrounds too. And drawing different shapes of people. Oops. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. I could do a big puff behind her. Look at me. That's my go-to hairstyle. No, I think I'm gonna find a decent hairstyle for her. But in the meantime, she's gonna be a little bald until I think about how I want to have her hair go. And I just threw that whole idea out the window just because I want it to be at least moderately correct. Hmm. You know, I can't remember she had wings. Shoot. Let me see. Huh. I love how my ideas just keep changing and changing. Now, this was an idea that I was going to do with kind of like Wolverine, but instead of it being claws, it was going to be they were going to be candy. It would have been like suckers coming out of her between her fingers, and then her licking it. But I kind of abandoned the idea and just went with something else. So maybe I'll do Bumblebee with her little weapon doing this sort of thing. She's got two of them, and then her in her hands like this. And one of the pictures I saw, she had Afro puffs, but I'm too high up in order to capture all the Afro puff. And they were pretty small, so, but these are going to be huge. They're going to be like Mara La Negra, freaking huge. Or even the little girl from Boondocks. They're that huge. How about that? And then you just have your like hair going into it. And we'll make her a little bit younger looking. She looks a little old in this picture. I think she's supposed to be maybe a teenager. Alrighty. Excuse me for 1 second. I gotta get this. Oh, sorry about that. My daughter had called. She's going to go get an Xbox. They're selling them for like $200 or something like that. I'm like, okay. I think I'm a little too high up. Let's see. Alrighty. Ginormous. I think I'll give her a bigger smile here. Give her some dimples. Alright, and it's ugly. Let's see. I'll work on her. Let's see. She'll probably be better looking when I color it in. I think it's the jaw. The jaw's a little too much. Let's see. And it could be the angle too. I'm not doing myself too many favors at this angle. Okay, so let's see if we can do a fist here. Okay. There's one, two, one, two, three, four. Okay. I was hoping to do a full body shot with like the feet and everything, but I didn't measure it properly. Okay, so let me see if I can find Bumblebee. Uh, can't remember if she was Marvel or DC. I think she's DC. Alrighty. I see a couple different costumes. My favorite is this one. So I'll draw my favorite. She's just wearing pretty much black. And then her top is alternating black and yellow. But I can't see her neck. If it's a tank top. Nope, it goes all the way up. Sweet. Okay. And they're big stripes. She's got like little cuffs. And her afro puffs come like way up here. But you know what? Each to her own. Oh, and she's got wings. Oh, crap. Okay. Like, how do you miss that? Let's see, and she's not wearing a mask. At least not in this picture. I like her costume. Very simple. This was when the Teen Titans episode where she appears, and I don't know if she's acting as a bad guy or what it was. And then they have like the little shiny spandex. Look there. And we'll just leave it right there. Okay, so let me go ahead and ink this in. Let's see. This is a Pentel Pocket Brush Pen. And I'll just start at the top and work my way down. Okay, and this music is like way too mellow. Let me see. Let's see if we can find something a little bit more energetic. Throw some hip hop, or their version of hip hop. Making the lines a little bit thicker and darker on the bottom, just to make it look like she's got a little bit of weight behind her her hair there. Let's see, and she's got like cut off sleeves, so you see her shoulders. Be nice if the lines met. Let me make sure that I'm not cutting off the picture. Sorry about that. There we go. Not too bad. Yes, I learned nothing from Inktober. Shame on Kim. I should have did the challenge in ink so I'd have better lines, better line work. All right. I seem to do a lot better when the lines are small than if I'm going like a long distance and dragging the brush here. It's like I gotta hold my breath when I do it if I want to keep my lines straight. All right, so I'll let that dry a little bit. All right. Close up any lines that I have a tendency of leaving open. All right. Now I'm going to use my hot air gun to dry this. So bear with me for a second. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that when I start to erase that it's not going to smear on me. Okay, so I'm going to stick a piece of paper underneath so that it doesn't bleed into the next page. Okay, so this is what I've got. Let's see. So, dun, dun, dun. I'm going to use a couple of colors for her skin. I'm debating whether or not I want to use the markers. I use the markers. Why not? Let's see. Got yellow. Got brown. Let's see. Got my water brush pen. Alrighty, so I grabbed various shades of brown. I wish I could tell you what colors they were because they're not marked. So those are the colors I'm going to use on her face and the exposed parts of her body here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry this. I'm going to use it kind of like a watercolor. And then I'm going to dry it, and then I'm going to go over it with Crayola color pencils. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. Okay, these are the brightest parts of her face that I'm going to aim for first. This is not working. Okay, give me a sec. Let's see. Okay, hopefully that brings the color out. I can't tell because the thing I'm using is, yeah, we got some color there. The thing I'm using is red, so I can't tell if the color was coming out or not. This is just the lightest tone that I've got for her. Because it's easier to go from light to dark than go from dark to light. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to use my hot air gun and I'm going to dry this up. Let's see if that's dry enough. Yep. Okay. We blotted some of this and just smear it all over the place. Okay, let me dry it up. Okay, so while that is still drying, I'm using Crayola signature markers, and I'm going to go ahead and color some of the other areas that are still, that are almost dry. Hopefully my markers aren't dried out. That would suck. So black, yellow. I love this part, the yellow. Black, make that yellow. Yeah, my yellow looks like it's drying out, probably from the last time I used it. This is like highlight yellow, not cool. Let me see if I can get a different yellow here. Oh. Yellow, and I already got my browns out. Okay. Yes, this looks like a hot mess, but I'm gonna see if I can overcome my mistakes here. And then I'm going back over the brown a little bit and just kind of blending it out into the yellow. And then blending it sideways to just to kind of like smear the brown, spread it out a little bit. Okay. I think I'll do the same thing on her belt here. And everywhere where I think there's going to be shadow, I'll just go ahead and add some of the brown here. Sucks that it got into her teeth here. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm going to dry this a bit. Now I'm going to go over it with, this is copper. And this one here is, dun, 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 what are you? Antique brass. And they don't look good on here. No, these aren't the colors that I was looking for. These are not the droids I'm looking for. Okay. Okay, so I guess I'm going to fall back on my crayons. I'm going to start with Peach here. And I'm just pretty much trying to get the highlighted area of her face, the lighter colored tones. one behind that. Where is my? There it is. Ha ha ha. Okay. All right. This color here is bittersweet. It's kind of like a reddish brown rust color. And that just gives her, just warms up her skin a bit. I'm going to go back to peach for a sec. Okay, and I'm going to use my darker brown. This is brown here. And I'm going to use that more in the shadows. So the bittersweet is like my mid-tone. Peach is my light tone. And brown is going to be my dark tone here. I'm going to get like a good amount of color onto the paper before I start to heat it up and start to blend it. And this is sepia. So a lot of the times I like to use colors that like 3 or 4 different colors on an image. Like if I'm doing anything, I like to use at least 3 colors, but this time I'm going to use 4. Just to give me like a transition tone. And a nicer, darker tone as well. I'm going to use a little bit of the sepia on the cuffs and some of the yellow, like where I think there's going to be shadow. Okay, so I'm going to warm up the crayon, and I'm going to have a blending stub nearby to go ahead and to blend it. Da, 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 da. Now, if you do play with the idea of blending crayons and whatnot, make sure that you use paper that are, that's pretty good for it. Coloring book paper is really good. It does suck up a lot of your crayon, so you'll have to like go over it and over it and over it in order to get some really good coverage. Bristol is my favorite. Like a heavy cardstock, like 100-pound paper, works pretty good. This here is, let's see what poundage this stuff is. It is, wait, this is 98 pounds. With 98 pound paper, it's able to take a bit of abuse. It took a bit for the marker to start lifting up the paper. You don't want to use like computer paper because it's not made for like wet mediums, mediums like it's made for making copies and things like that. Yeah, I demand a lot from my crayons. Welcome to all those who have appeared. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. Let's see. So yeah, this is mixed media paper. It's able to take a bit of the marker but it can take crayon, but it's like you got to coat this stuff with like some sort of fixative, because then if you're doing it out of a book, like right now I'm coloring in a book, it will get on the other pages, and I can show you some of the poor images that have suffered for it. Suffered for the art. So either that, or I need to cover it with another piece of paper, lift it up whenever I want to look at it. Now to make your crayons look smoother, I'm using a blending stub, and what I'm doing is I'm heating up the paper, heating up the crayon, and then smoothing it out with the blending stub. Once you have a lot of crayon on it, it starts to really move for you. And again, I use like a couple different colors. I use like about four colors on her skin alone, just to give it like a little richness. And then when I want it really dark, I'll throw the sepia on there. And if I make a mistake, I can always fix it by heating up the crayon and going over it with white, like in layers. I'm going to try to fix, oops, wrong color, but that's okay. I'm going to try to fix her mouth a little bit. If I can't, then I'll just close it. Or maybe she'll just have, what's the word? Have a gap between her teeth. Be the Lauren Hutton of coloring pictures. And I'm just blending these colors in, and they look kind of smooth. Now, if you don't have like a brush like this to, brush away the flecks, you could use a little rag. Just be really gentle about moving it. If you use your hand, you might have too much pressure and might smear. all these little spots around here are all from me dabbing with a really. I should have used like a sponge or something to suck up some of the water, or not use water at all. I don't know, weirdo. Okay, so I'm just covering up some of the white that I see because I'm letting the peach be the highlight in some places. Okay, so I'm going to hit this a little bit with some heat. And you don't need a lot of heat to melt the crayon to get it to move for you. If you're finding that it's not moving, just add more crayon. Heat it up a little bit and then just add some more. Let me go ahead and get some more music going. We'll do pop next time. Let's see what the pop gives us. Dun dun dun. And play. Yeah, I was listening to hip hop last time. Okay, come on. Play like the wind, bullseye. Oh, I accidentally muted it. Sorry about that. Let's start from the beginning. There we go. Yeah, if you want to take your coloring to the next level, especially if you're using crayons, try using 3 or 4 different colors in an area. Like instead of just using plain yellow, try using yellow. Let's see, at least 3 colors. Like I've got the yellow of the marker, I've got this dandelion, and I've got this goldenrod. I'll use. Let's see, I'll just go over some of this yellow here. And if you don't use 2, maybe try 3. I know some crayon sets aren't complete. And just wherever your shadow is, add the other crayon. So I got these 2 yellows. Bumble Bee here is a matching girl. Alright, and then I would use something else like a brown in the deeper, darker shadows. And then just play off of that with a transition color. Or even go into each other so they kind of blend into each other. Alright. And I'm going to melt those in together and then rub them together. And then to combine all the colors together so it doesn't look like there's a brown on the yellow, I go back over it with the yellows. This one right here is dandelion. And it just brings it all together. So it doesn't look like it's dirt or dirty. It just looks darker, a deeper, darker yellow. And with crayon, you're going to want to put extra layers on there, just to smooth it out, just to make it look really nice and get it, you know, if you want to do different, what is it called, transitions, you give it a nice rich look. And if you want to make it look shiny, you leave white. Oh, I heated it up too long. Not a problem, I'll just let it dry, or rather cool down, and then I can scrape off anything I don't need. Okay, so now I'm going to see if I can smooth out her face a little bit. Alright. Now I've got a little bit of yellow still on this, and that's okay because what I wanted to do is kind of reflect a little bit of the yellow. And the more crayon I have, the smoother it kind of looks. Okay. You don't want to put it on for too long, or else you'll get that big blob like I got. The paper will, if you warm up the paper, it will melt the crayon when you apply it. So if you need a lot of crayon on there, then you leave it on a while. If you only want to melt the crayon a little bit so you can move it around, you just want to hit it for a few seconds. You can also use a hairdryer to get the same effect. Alright, so I'm going to let that cool just a little bit. The wings I saw were blue, different shades of blue. Let's see. What do we have? Okay. I have a couple shades here. Let's see, these are gel crayons. I haven't quite figured out what the difference is between that and a regular crayon, so let's see if I can figure it out. I'm going to go ahead and just color this whole thing. Particularly around the edges. And I'm going to assume that these are kind of like white. So this is one shade of blue. I'm going to go a little darker and then come lighter. Let's see, this one was the blue gel crayon, and then this one here is Wild Blue Yonder. If that doesn't just take your breath away, I tell you. This is Wild Blue Yonder. And then I'm going to use, I think I will use, I'm going to use this purple metallic in the shadows here. Kind of like what I did for her skin here. What I want to show is that it hits it, the light hits it, it's really super bright. Should have been like bright right here. But hits it bright, and then it starts to get darker, darker, darker until it's like you're furthest away from the light and it's super dark, but then it starts to get light again. And that's pretty much what I want to do here. That the light will hit it right here, and then it'll start to get darker, darker, darker until it gets to its darkest, but then it'll start to get light again. And that gives you an illusion of roundness. Ooh, this metallic one has like glitter in it. Hello. I didn't plan this. Those of you who've watched my channel before, you know that I'm crazy about glitter. It's really subtle too. It snuck up on me. Okay. And I would... This is not enough. Well, let me see. Let me heat up one area. I just want to see if that was enough crayon on it to make it move. And no, it's not. No. When you have like an area like this, you really want to just throw that crayon on. Make it nice and thick and dark. Or just thick with a lot of crayon on it. If you want to try to get those transitions and overcome the tooth of the paper. So I'm going to throw more crayon on it. Just kind of think of it this way. If you don't have a lot on there, it doesn't have any place to go. I mean, whatever it goes is just going to sit on there, kind of like water. If you dry it in one spot, and you only have like a little bit on there, it's just going to dry up. But if you have a lot on there, it's going to move. It's going to move wherever the wind takes it. So let's see if we can do the same thing with this. Now this part I did not use, what's it called? I didn't use a marker in it, like a marker base, like I did for her skin. Okay. Let's see, I'm going to use a fatter a blending stub, and I'm going to melt some of this right here. Hit it for about 5 seconds. And then I'm going to go over it again. I'm going to warm it up some more. I really wanted to get into that tooth of the paper so I don't have the white showing of the paper. But her wing is more blue than purple. It's a gorgeous effect. We'll warm it up again. I'm going to throw some more blue on there. And we'll warm it up again after I wipe it off. Oops. That's the crayon I wanted. And the more you do it, the more it gets into the paper, it seeps into the paper, and then you can start really manipulating it with the blending stub, you know, getting it to blend in different ways. And after a while, you'll forget that it's crayon. Wipe this off. Now this character here is Bumble Bee, in case you just joined me. And I believe she's a DC character. So I've seen her with Robin and the Teen Titans. And I'm just alternating back and forth with the colors here. And you see how one color can overcome another color, or go over another color, and then make that a little bit more subtle. Like this purple here has just become a little bit more subtle. And then I can blend them into each other seamlessly. And this is very, very smooth. It does take a bit to get to this level of smoothness, so you just got to be patient. Throw a lot of crayon on there, warm it up a bit, and then you can just really just go to town. And you see the difference between this wing and this wing. You know, this is just crayon just put on for like maybe one layer, and this here has a lot of crayon melted onto it. And I can pretty much mold where I want these colors to go. And if I want to put another color on top of it, all I have to do is like melt that color, melt the crayon itself, and then stick it on there, and it'll be on top. Let's see. You know, it would look probably pretty awesome if this was darker. Let's see. Let's see if this will work for me. Now sometimes I like to go over what I've done with a marker, just to give it a little bit more richness. And because the marker is on here, if you get it fast enough, you can actually blend it into the crayon, like so. I'm going to do that right now. And just, it blends right on in. And this part looks like it's glowing. Alright. And I'll probably end up doing the same thing with this skin a little bit more. it works really well doing this sort of thing, alternating back and forth. When you have like two colors, a couple colors, right here is what I really love. This is like, it's really beautiful right here. That tone. Okay, let's do this other wing. And just put those colors down. And warm it up. I give it about 5 seconds of warmth and then go over it. And it's actually the paper getting warm, melting the crayon. And I'd keep going until I get resistance, because when you warm up the paper, it is smooth, and then you'll start to feel it feel like a crayon again. And this is one way of getting color on there pretty quick. The other way is to melt the crayon itself. You know, put the heat on the crayon directly until you see it get moist or start to look like it's melting. And then you can add that as well. Okay, but be sure to wipe the little dust off, or else you'll have flecks of dust inside here and it'll just make a mess. Okay, there we go. All right, and then I'm just going to hit it one more time. Now it's at a point where I've got enough on here that I can maneuver it again with the blending stove. If I can remember where I put my blending stove. There it is. Okay. There we go. And now I can get these beautiful gradients because I've got so much wax of the crayon on here. It just glides. They just blend with each other. And my favorite gradients are the ones where you can't tell where it begins or where it ends. They're just that seamless. Okay. Another thing that you can do is if you have like this pocket brush pen, this pocket brush pen does the same thing as the markers do. Is you can get a little bit of that marker in there and it'll give it that blue. Pocket brush pen will do the same thing, but it'll give you that extra shade of black. If you get it just quickly, you can blend it in with the color to get a deeper, darker color. And it'll blend right on in with the crayon. So I got that sort of tone going on. So anywhere where I think it needs to be a little darker, I can just do that. And it just adds another degree of another shadow to it without having to break out a whole nother crayon. Just add a little bit more. And I would do the same thing using one of the markers. Markers will do the same thing. You get it just right. You got to do it quickly though, because they dry fast. Especially if you have like a little fan above you, like I do. And you can get it just to blend just right with the colors. And if you find you don't like it, you just melt a little bit more of the crayon, or get this a little warm, put that crayon on top, and it'll cover it up. Okay, so what I'll do for these right here in her shirt, let's see. Or actually, let's see. We'll do her hair first, and then we'll work our way back down. Let this kind of cool down. I'm going to go back over some of my lines here that I might have lost. And it's pretty much just sitting right on top of the crayon. It'll dry nice and solid. Alright. Okay, so I'll let that dry, and then I'll play with her hair here. Let's see. I think I'll have her hair reflect purple. Let's see, we'll have her hair kind of reflect, let's see what this color, this is indigo. I think I want a brighter maybe a purple, maybe a reddish. Ooh, that'd be kind of cool. There's that, and let's see. Okay, this color here is red violet. I'm debating whether or not I want it to her hair to reflect kind of like a reddish tone. Nah, I'll just have it be, I'm debating, do I want it a deeper, darker brown, or do I want it like a purplish, like how Superman and Wonder Woman? We'll do that. We'll have, we'll put purple, or this indigo rather, all the way around. I got a long way to go if I'm going to do it this way. Okay. I've warmed up the paper so the crayon will like get on there fast. Oh, and to get that texture of hair, of kinky hair, you just kind of go around in a circle. Like it'll give it like a dense look. So if you want to go for that afro look, really super tight curls. Okay, I'm going to melt it a little bit more. Let's see. Oh, this is that purple. I'm going to throw some of that in there. That's kind of nice. It's kind of mixed with the blue here, with the indigo. And this is supposed to be where the highlights are, using this indigo. I'm sorry, this metallic purple here. We'll warm it up a little bit more. All right. Okay, I'm going to use black if I can find it. Let's see. Black Negro Noir. I'm going to go ahead and throw some of the same curl pattern. And I'm going to go a little bit into that purple and indigo. And I'm going to try something. I've seen this before. I'm going to scratch into the paper a design, pretty much the little curls. Make sure that it's think the pencil lead is in. Looks like the pencil lead is trying to come out. It's kind of like I'm creating my own tooth of the paper. And what it's going to do, what I'm hoping it's going to do, is going to give me like some highlights. Okay. And then I'm going to go over some more of this here. Down below here will be the purple, and then I'll put indigo on the top there. Just to give it kind of like a shadow or a darker tone. And I'm going into the black. Okay, let's see if we throw a little bit more indigo on here. I'm going to warm this up. Whoops. Alrighty, let me see. Let's see if I can find something sharp enough to leave. Let's see if this will do it. And I'm just scratching some of it off in like a circular motion. Let's see what it does for us. It gives it a little bit of a texture. kind of see where my original pen is. Okay. It just gives it a little bit more texture. Okay. No big a deal. I'm wondering if I can go over it with another color though. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, let me warm this up just a smidge. Let's see if that'll make a difference. This is silver. Just throwing a little bit of silver in here so that it will show some of the curl pattern. Alrighty. Okay. Black again. What did I do with you? Black. Aha. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and hit these. And to lay it down a little faster, I'm going to warm up the paper. And if I want to make it shiny, I just leave some areas where I think the light would hit it. I'd leave that white. Now it's okay if you go over parts that you've already done before and it gets a little bit of heat. It'll just cool and you know, pretty much dry in place. Not as long as you're not like hitting it for like over a minute or two. That's when it'll start to pick up and start moving around like it's water. That means that you've melted the wax way too much. Just a few seconds is all it takes to warm up the paper. Or the crayon. Now her pants, on the other hand, are shiny. From the pictures that I've seen, they're pretty shiny. So, I'm going to go ahead and assume where the light's hitting it. So kind of at this angle, I'm going to heat this up. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my highlight. I'm going to use silver. Now, wherever it bends, wherever I see it bend is where I'm going to give it the light. Like, because that's where the light is going to hit it, right on that bend. So I'm going to hit it right here. It'll come around on her hip, a little bit on her belly, and then it'll be like about right here. And I'm doing the highlight first because it's easier, like I said, to go from light to dark than dark to light. And if I make a mistake, I can always just go right back over it. You know, I can cover up my light colored mistakes. So like I might add a little bit more black right here in where her belly is and stuff like that. So I'll add that first. And I'm going to add a little bit around the edge here. So what's going to happen is that this is the lightest part. This is going to be the lightest part, and as I get away from the light, it starts to get darker and darker, and then kind of like a reflective light, it'll get lighter. And that gives you, again, the illusion of roundness. In my deepest, darkest spots, well, I'm going to use black anyway, so I'm going to heat up the paper. It makes it faster for the crayon to get on there. Okay, so about 5 seconds is pretty good. And you see how my crayon's just like really just gliding on this dang thing. And I'm going to have the black go into the light here. Now if it's like super shiny, like depending on the type of material, if it's like latex, you don't have to do a transition blend. You can just leave it just as it is with the dark. But if it's like skin, there'll be a transition to it sometimes, depending on how hard the light is hitting it. I'm going to do the same thing here on this leg, where it's a little bit going back to light, but it's not going to be as light as this. Okay, I've got like a little spot here. That's why I don't recommend not wiping. Wipe, Kim, wipe. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my black on here. All right, I think I got a lot of wax on here, but I'm going to hit it one more time with both colors.
When I'm down, you pick me up. You and me, we shiny dust, and we won't ever get enough. They don't know, they don't know. In your eyes, I put my trust. Baby, you're my all-time favorite drug. Let them keep talking about us. They don't know, we'll never know. When the rain hits hard,
And I am going to leave some parts of this white, but on the whole it's pretty much silver. Now the white is like where the light's hitting it like crazy hard. Let me wipe this off. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and smooth some of this out. And if you have any questions, just ask me in the comments and I'll respond. And instead of white, you could always use blue as a reflective color. And it wouldn't be a far-fetched color or reflective tone because her wings are blue. So I could get away with, like, on the edges here. Let's see, this is indigo. Let's see, what was the other color? Here we go. We can get away with this tone here kind of reflecting. So like around the edges here. And that reflects this color right here. So we got that going on. Maybe a smidgen back here. And then just wipe off some of the excess. And then heat it up a little bit so you can like kind of blend it a little bit. Or not. But I kind of want it to be a little subtle. So I'm just kind of going over it just a little bit. Bringing a little bit of the dark onto that blue. And just to keep the illusion going, I'm trying to cover up some of the white of the paper. There we go. All right. So now all I want to do is just smooth out her skin a little bit more. So I'm going to use a smaller blending stump and clean one off. Now trying to get it nice and smooth like the wings are is going to be a challenge because the face has so many different contours to it that I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to accomplish it, but I think I'll try. Can't hurt to try. And I think in the future I'll do without, I'll try it without putting marker on first, just to see how it turns out. Okay, I do like this tone here in her skin. Let me warm up the paper a little bit. I'm going to leave a couple of the highlights that I have right here where it blends into the white paper. I'm going to leave those alone. A little bit on her chin. Probably already lost it. Okay. I just want to make sure I get a lot of the crayon on there. like over it with bittersweet. I think that's the color I used to get that pretty, um, almost like a blushy tone. And I'll use a little bit on this side. Use a little bit here. Use a little bit on the nose. And on the temple. And it just seems to warm up her face a bit. And I'll give her this, this is the red violet. I'll give her some red violet lips. And just a little bit in her cheekbones. Just to give her that rosy look. And we'll throw a little bit of yellow in her eyeshadow. Okay, let's see. I think I have. I thought I had a white gel pen. Let's see, what do I have? Okay. Let me see if this. Oops, gotta clean this. Be careful with your white. If you use white, make sure you clean that white off before you go into another white area, because you don't want to screw it up. It's kind of lightening it up a little bit. Yeah, I had earlier a little bit of the marker bleed into where her teeth are. I think we can pass with that. Let's see. Just use regular pencil here. Let me see if I can use a little bit of this. Just to define the lips a little bit. Okay, good enough for government work. Okay, so let me warm this up a bit. A few seconds will do it. And just gently touch it. And just smooth it on out. Alright. I'm going to warm it up some more. And I'm just going to alternate back and forth until I get to like the smoothness that I want. Okay, and then I'm going to use a little bit of this brown. And just give her that reddish tone. And I'm just basically just trying to blend some of these colors together, give her a little bit more color tones, a little play of color, and then trying to blend. It's easier to do this on a larger image, like, or larger area. It's a little trickier on the face. All right. Okay. Woo! Coloring for 3 hours. Actually, no, it wasn't actually coloring for 3 hours. I did do another picture before this. All right. So, this is Bumble Bee. Let's see. What else can I do to this thing? I see a little bit of the little color play there. For the curls, I don't have anything sharp like a neat. Look at this. MacGyvering art supplies. I'm going to try using a bobby pin. Let me see if I can get more curls to show. Yep, buddy. Just scratching it off. Oop, scratching through the paper. But this is another way of getting those highlights for the curls. Of course, I'm not being as gentle as I should be. Ooh, heavy-handed one. Okay, and for those of you who have just joined, this is what I had started. This is what, I guess the first hour I was drawing this. And this is going to be an image for my Behold Beauty. I'm going to go ahead and ink this, and then I'm going to add it to a coloring book. So it's just pretty much like a girl inside of a lollipop. This is like the bitten off portion. And it's like, well, here she is. Okay, well, thank you for watching. This is Bumble Bee. I could do like a background of some sort. What I would do is I would choose a color that is the opposite of this color on the color wheel. Yellow would work. Purple, but I've used yellow and purple. Let's see. Orange or green. Here's the purple. So she's kind of like in this range, but she's using bits and pieces of each one, which is kind of hard. Let's see, the predominant color, you guys, would be the red, so I guess it would have to be like a green background of some sort, if I was going to do a background. Yeah, I'll leave it alone. No background for you. Maybe a little something. Let's see what we got here. Kim says no background, but then drives the background, and this is no takebacks, so okay, no takebacks. All right, I'm gonna just go ahead and call it. Again, thank you for watching Old Fickle Me, and I'll see if I can color another image in a few minutes or so, or maybe tomorrow. Gotta kind of pace myself. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. If you don't have to. But I might come up with something that might surprise you, or if you have an idea, like if you could think of a black superhero, I would love to capture that person, and maybe just find a crazy pose for them and just do it all up. Or any superhero, that'd be kind of cool. Anyway, again, I'll catch you in the next stream, and don't be a stranger, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.